Alex Eubank recently broke up with his girlfriend that he had been with for about 6 months to a year. They created content together. He would clickbait her in a lot of the thumbnails. She was just a big part of his videos and a big part of his life, and they have recently broken up. It kind of came as a bit of a surprise. So I think a lot of people, he just announced it in one of his videos. He didn't really give any clues leading up to that. I think people had just noticed that, she wasn't in I think several of his videos leading up to the point where he announced that they were breaking up. He seemed pretty bummed about it. He seemed to, want to leave it open-ended and say, we're taking a break right now. But it appears they both gone their separate ways and moved on. Now, I want to say I think this is a really, really good thing for Alex Eubank, and I wanted to make this video because I think young men in general, between the ages of honestly like 18 and 30, should really just stay single. You could even argue up to like 35. I really do. I really think they should stay single. I really think they should not really double down on someone. Maybe early 30s, I could see that. But that's a great thing about being a man is, you can have kids. I mean, you can have kids up till you're like 60. I mean, maybe even more with things like TRT and testosterone replacement therapy, different things you can do. You can have kids way, way older. So I don't really think men should be doubling down on females, especially at a younger age, between usually 18 to 32, 33. And I think this is a really good thing for Alex. I think that even though he might be bummed about this temporarily, I think he'll come to realize this was a really good decision. And not getting involved with the female until he's later in life is going to be for the best. Because the problem is when you're younger and you're trying to become successful, and Alex already is very successful, and I give him a lot of credit for that. He's one of the faces of the industry. And I think he's probably one of the better, more authentic influencers. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he seems to be. And I think that him being single at this point in his life is going to be for the better. Because when you're younger, what you need momentum on your side, and you need direction, and you need to be going down a trajectory as fast as possible. And unfortunately, when you have things like toxic friends, like friends and family that just aren't on board with you, a girlfriend who's nagging you, different things taking place around you that can be distracting and derailing from your progress, it slows down your success tremendously. And if you let it get bad enough, it can derail your success completely. And one of the biggest things that sidelines a lot of young men, particularly, and men in general, is women. It's one of the biggest things that sidelines them and takes them off of their direction and trajectory towards success. So I think what Alex is going to come to realize is that it's far better for him to be single at this point in his life and not get in any sort of serious committed relationship, because he's already incredibly successful. This dude really could build an empire if he wanted to. And the way he's going to do that as quickly as possible is by being single, is by just doubling down on what he's doing, just getting rid of all the distracting factors or distracting variables in his life and just going 100 miles an hour in one direction. And that's what men need to be doing in general, because when you have a female that you really like, you really care about, you really love, etc., things like that, it can be incredibly distracting. It can be incredibly time consuming, because now you're thinking about her when you're at work. Now you're thinking about her when you're at the gym. Now you're going to the gym with her. You used to go really hard and super intense in the gym, but now you're teaching her how to work out. Now you're waiting for her in between your sets. Now you're distracted because she's doing hamstring curls or hip thrusters and her ass looks really good, and she's wearing this outfit that looks really hot, and now you're thinking about other things, and then you're ejaculating too much because you're having sex too much throughout the day with her because you're so attracted to her. A lot of these things, even though it can feel really good and it might be beneficial for your health in some ways, it's actually quite derailing, and it can be very pernicious, meaning it can be very slowly detrimental, slowly distracting. And then all of a sudden it gets to a point where, you're miles and miles off of the train track that you're supposed to be traveling down in order to get to where you need to go as quickly as possible. You're somewhere over there on some other train track going in the complete opposite direction, or just taking a path that's going to, get you to the destination you're trying to go a lot slower and preclude you from getting there fast. And you don't even realize how you got there. And one of the biggest ways you get there is by having a girlfriend, because they are just so distracting in many ways. And oftentimes, females' biology is to, and this is a little more advanced. I don't want to get too much into this in this video, but a female's biology is to try to keep the high value man for herself. And one of the ways she does that, she doesn't really understand this, but they'll try to kind of take you off your game and beta-ize you a little bit. So instead of going to the gym, they'll be like, no, baby, don't go to the gym. Stay here with me. No, let's eat ice cream. No, don't go to that business meeting. When are we going to spend time together? Because she wants to keep you to herself, and she wants to feel like she has you, like she has the high-value man who has a lot of options. So she does things. She doesn't even realize it. And this is all biological. She's not thinking about it. She just does it. She does things to try to kind of keep you to herself and kind of prevent you from being in situations where you could be with other girls, or from gaining too much status, because she feels like if you get too high up, you're going to leave her and you're going to be too good for her. So she'll start to do all these little subtle things that'll kind of bring you down and keep you towards her and away from other things that could help you be growing, or help you be just gaining and doubling in life in general, and especially any sort of situation where you're with other females. And it's very important for young men to be around as many females as possible at a young age, so they can get experience in hooking up with, getting in not long term, but more short term relationships with, having female friends, seeing female nature in different capacities, understanding female evolution, female biology, female psychology, female sexuality, understanding all these things. And it's very important for you to get those experiences as quickly as possible when you're young. When you get a girlfriend, a lot of that stops, because you're not, unless you really know what you're doing, and you can have a situation where you can still go out and be with other girls, and maybe have threesomes or something like that, which realistically you're probably not going to be able to pull that off in your 20s. You're probably not going to be good enough or know enough to understand how to frame that to her to the point where she's going to want to do that. So you're going to be very limited. You're going to be only really interacting with her, maybe a friend or two every now and then, and you're not going to be getting that plethora, that copious amount of female interaction and experiences that you need at a young age all throughout your 20s, so that when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you can really pick the best female you can, and you know what a good female looks like, and you know what one doesn't. So having a girlfriend derails a lot of this. It derails your growth as a man in so many ways when you get one too young. And lots of times, because you don't really know what you're doing with females, you can get taken advantage of, and you can just get sidelined and taken off your path to success in ways that you will never understand until you go through it. So lots of times it's just better to focus on yourself, stay single, focus on the gym, focus on your business, and focus on going as fast as you can forward, 100 miles an hour, without any distraction. So I think this is a good thing for Alex Eubank. I just wanted to make this video talking about it because I saw the clip of him talking about how he broke up with his girlfriend. I saw the video too, and I want to say I think this is a good thing for him. I think it's a good thing for young men in general to stay single, stay focused. It doesn't mean you want to be around a lot of females. You want to be getting experiences with a lot of females. That's good for you as a man, but you don't want to be doubling down on a female too young. It can ruin you. It can ruin your success. It can ruin everything. So if you like this video, watch some of my other ones where I go more in depth on things like this. My name is Angelo. This is The Elusive Truth. And until next time.